and you've seen my struggles. This moment, I have 4 deals.
What's going on, gang? I'm very excited to bring you this interview with one of my students and good friends in life, Vad. This is a true testament to what hard work, sacrifice, risk, and faith gets you in life. This is going to be an insanely inspirational video for any of you guys that watch. It's an awesome story. He had all the odds stacked against him, but he still found a way to make it work. I'm sorry, but if you watch this video in its entirety, you will have no more excuses for the rest of your life. I'll see you guys there.
You know my journey. You've been a part of my journey, and you've seen my struggles. At this moment, I have 4 deals that I am actively working. One deal we actually assigned today to the end buyer. I'm JVing with my good friend. It's the property in Atlanta, and he lives in Atlanta. So he's been doing some showings, built some reports with buyers, um, and we got it assigned today, which is exciting news. And we got EMD. One is uh, that I'm planning to look tomorrow, check the property. It's in North Carolina, our hometown, not hometown, but our backyard,
Yeah,
Um,
right.
and two, one novation and one. It's not novation, but I slapped it on the MLS. So 4 deals actively, which are
Yeah.
exciting, but at the same time, a little bit, you know, whenever you don't get at the specific time what you want, it kind of nerve-wracking a little bit.
Good work, Vad. So we just closed a couple deals, like really very recently, just 2 in one day. Now we got 4 more we're working on actively. 1 assigned today. We're cooking, bro.
Amen.
We're cooking. This is momentum. Apparently, it's hard to get going and easy to stop. Let's keep it rolling, brother. Good work and keep it up, man. So Vad, let's talk about it. Because you and I, anytime we're face to face like this, we're training. We're getting better. We're calling people live. We're yada yada. So here's where I want to know. Tell me more about your journey. You say I know your journey, and I've been involved in it, but I want to get to know better. How did you start out in wholesale, and what was the journey between zero and the first deal like for you?
It was miserable. uh, uh, so some people are saying like, if you don't get a deal in 30 days, I don't know what's wrong with you. And I was thinking for 90 days, what's wrong with me? uh, but yeah, so like, and a lot of people are saying that if this journey was easy, everybody was doing this.
That's right.
But in reality, we know it's not that. And whenever I jumped into this business, which was last June, I didn't know anything about wholesaling. I barely heard the word wholesaling, and I couldn't figure out if that's related to real estate or that's related to wholesaling, selling some stuff online.
Yeah. Right. Literally.
you know. Uh, but about I mean, big thanks to the person that you and I were part of the mentorship. Um,
Mhm.
and I heard about this opportunity, and I always wanted, not always, for the past couple of years, I wanted to learn sales. I wanted to become more independent, and work for yourself. And because I lost my job last in the beginning of last year, I decided, okay, maybe it's time for me to switch either career or switch the little bit what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Switching a little bit to what I'm doing didn't work out, but then I kind of completely took a leap of faith and jumped into something completely unknown without having any skills. So June is when the first time I even understood what is this, and first time I heard what is acquisition and disposition. And I'm like, what's the difference? Like, what is that? And, it took me a little bit of time to understand. Like, first month, I was just learning, and I was waiting for the cold callers. Then I
Mhm.
started actively making calls in July of last year. And my
Mhm.
first deal I actually signed in August, but it's a separate story, and it wasn't a deal. So it was a month. It wasn't a deal because apparently they signed agreement contract with another wholesaler a couple days before they signed with me,
No.
and they didn't even have a proper ownership of the property. They're still dealing with this property, and this is like a year and 6 months or 8 months, you know, after the fact. It
Yeah.
didn't work out. Um, Second deal that I signed, it was with my partner. Um, Good guy. Um, it didn't work out business wise with us, but we were grinding, trying to figure out how to get our first deal um, in our area, you know. So we
Hmm.
got it signed in the end of September. So before I actually got my good first deal, it was at least um, 4 months, I would say, from the moment I started learning about this. Close to
Okay.
4 months.
Wow. Okay. So you started in June. Took 3 months. You got a contract. You say a month of learning, maybe 2 months of action, then a little bit of failure, and then one more
A
month
lot
you
of failure.
pursue, and then you got it.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. And you're allowed to say names. That and I met Klein elite group, the elite community, and it's pretty cool. I'm sure just like you or just like me, you made a lot of awesome contacts in there. Met some awesome friends that I'm sure you still communicate with to this day. So that was definitely beneficial. When did you join that community? Or tell me, I know you had to learn, but probably by watching YouTube, like a lot of people. But what was your educational journey like?
Educational. So my first mentorship was actually Rueka Brothers, Connor. He
Really?
was my first mentor. I met him and his brothers at the first Hustle Summit. We
Hmm.
exchanged phone numbers, and then right after Hustle Summit, we connected, and I paid money for the mentorship or membership to be a part of their um, group.
Hmm.
And I started learning, but and they gave me some knowledge, which I'm really grateful for that. But it wasn't enough for me. For some reason, I was just couldn't figure out that there was, in the beginning, you just fail and fail and fail, and you're like, man, every single day you're thinking, why am I even doing this?
Mm.
Am I gonna
Goodness,
be
man.
even able to get success in this field? Um, so I for July, August, I was in their mentorship. I met amazing couple of amazing friends, and one of them we keep communicating all the time, and we kind of like brothers because we started at the same time, and we always congratulate each other, kind of going with this journey.
Uh huh.
Uh, and I joined Eric's program in either end of October or beginning of November last
Hmm.
year.
Okay. So after you close the deal, maybe two.
Not even that. I was I was in the middle of my first deal,
Hmm.
and I didn't know many things. I didn't know anything about this position, TC, how to talk to attorneys, what information to provide them.
Yeah.
Like all of this stuff was s- so. I mean, it's a black box, and I couldn't. And like I was in debt. Like I bet like so much on this, and my credit card was just rising up every single day, every single month. And whenever I saw that I'm almost maxing out my credit card, I just decided that I need to get another mentor. I just need to figure out. And that's when I kind of sent a video to Eric, almost crying that I need some help. I'm desperate.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah,
Wow. I didn't know that.
yeah.
Goodness. But you joined and then you closed your first deal like the same
I
time.
started asking questions, specifically to that deal. They started navigating me, and I started understanding how what is coming after what, um, and get some clarity. And this is where I closed the deal.
Hmm.
Um, it was partially because I started kind of feeling much more comfortable being in that group, in that community, and being able to ask any urgent questions.
Absolutely. So that was huge for you.
It was huge for me.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I agree with you, Vad. There is a difference between, dude, when you have a question, you don't know the answer, you look it up on YouTube, maybe it's not as clear as you need it to be. Maybe there's not a video on the specific question that you want answered. If you can't find it on Jerry Norton's page, you ain't going to find it nowhere. So, dude, just having that, being with somebody that's done it before, shoot, that's everything, man. Even today, I found myself calling a buddy of mine that's been in the game 3 times as long as I am, saying, "Hey, what do you think about this?" So it's huge, man. I'm glad to hear that, bro. Let's go. Okay, so we started off in a war, in a battle, digging a hole as deep as we possibly could, and then boom, we closed the first deal, and that was about a year ago now.
Hmm.
But I guess we know just because you close your first deal doesn't mean you have it all figured out. What happened after?
So what happened next is, um, so I took all the assignment and I just threw it in a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't use any money from that, even though I actually made a promise to my wife that after we close my first deal, you can quit work or job, and
Uh-huh.
because she was also under a lot of pressure. And now I
Ah,
close the
yeah.
deal, and even throwing all this money into the credit cards is still not gonna even cover 50% of all the bills, or all the credit cards. And then I kind of, my wife was a little bit upset with me, but she understood. Um, and I threw the money into the credit cards. I try to understand what else can I do, how I can expand. And this is where I kind of started. At that moment, I started practicing more a little bit, not only run it remote, cold caller, but also hiring process. Get my own VA, manage my own VA, get my own data instead of relying on somebody else pulling the data.
Mhm.
So after that, I actually locked another deal in mid of November, which took me 9 months, I guess, to work on. And this is the deal that I closed in July. If you remember, I told you about that deal.
Was it the
Nine
fat
months.
check? The fat check we're talking
Yes,
about?
the fat check, the fat
The
check.
fat check.
It
Wow.
was a huge learning point for me, because I
Nine
locked it.
months?
I spent, listen, Noah, I spent 5.5 hours on a call with that seller. 5.5 hours. And after this, she ghosted me
No.
for a couple of weeks.
You're kidding me. That's awful. What
I
do you even have to talk about for 6 hours, bro?
she liked to talk. Like, love the one you're with, and I was doing what I was taught.
You fell in love, bro. Yeah.
I asked
Oh my
myself question
goodness.
multiple times, why am I doing this? But
Oh,
I stick. I got it. I built a great report. The person disappeared for a couple of weeks. I even asked a question in our coaching class, like, what should I do? And I got to answer that in majority of these cases, you just cancel, because they goes because they either signed or they changed their mind. But
mhm.
I was persistent, stubborn, and I kept calling. And then and then she answered, and apparently she was super sick. And this is where I learned that she doesn't have anybody who's taking care of her. And I just said, listen, I'm gonna buy you a lunch. um, I asked her what she likes. I actually
Mhm.
went. I bought the lunch and I brought it to her door. I put it at her door and I left. It was one extra extra thing that the seller actually appreciated a lot. And
Dude,
after
yeah.
this, it took 2 months for us to get access to the property. And we only, in January, mid of January, me and my partner got access, and my partner actually went to check. She didn't feel comfortable to show the property because she was a little bit embarrassed because it wasn't in a good condition. She was a little bit of the hoarder. Um, but we got access and we started kind of figuring out what's the next step, what's the next step. That's why from the beginning to the end, it was like 9 months.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. That's relentless right there, dude. Serious. 9 months of following up, staying in touch, bringing her lunch, talking on the phone for 5.5 hours at once.
Spending days and bringing not only me and my partner, but bringing my family and him bringing his friends, his family, and his girlfriend to clean her place, to move the stuff, because she wasn't able to do this. No, it would cost a lot of money, and she was like every single piece from 1999 a paperwork, boxes of paperwork. She's like, I need to go one by one, one by one. So nobody would take this job, or it would cost us a lot of money.
Wow. That's unbelievable. And that's the biggest deal you've closed to date?
Yes,
Dude, that's
yes.
awesome. And you put so much time and effort into it. And so for any of you guys watching, man, if you got 40 leads you're looking at and you've talked to 20 of them and wonder why you haven't closed a deal, like that's selfish of you, because look at what Vad is willing to do to close one deal, what he's willing to do to serve somebody. That's why he got paid the biggest check of his life from this deal, because he gave it his everything. And that's a big takeaway, man. It's a big takeaway. You really just set a new standard for what needs to be done. So great job, Vad. That's awesome, man. And so that one closed. Now we're getting about caught up. That one closed, and it seemed like from that moment something just clicked within your business. Now we're starting to roll. Now the momentum is moving. How do we get there?
So before the momentum is moving, there was multiple months of trying and different things, and actually failing in some things and learning in some things, and making progress, and by making connections with people and just listening and getting some advices. And part of this is what I started with Connor brothers, or Connor and Rueka brothers, with Eric's community. Because of the Eric's community, I got uh, knowledge from other groups, including you. This is where I met you. And I'm like, bro, this bro is something. And whenever you started advertising more, I'm like, because at that moment it started working for you and you started seeing results, and I'm like, I just want to be around these people, that I can get some value, and some knowledge. And I joined another community. I was like, when people were going to bed and just have a normal life, I was on calls at 11 p.m. until 1 a.m. I was falling asleep, but I was listening because like you need to. And every Saturday we have some calls. So there's like a bunch of calls. Then I joined your community. Yeah, it was like, I don't remember when it was, like March, I guess, because at some point I was like, also it was like a bunch of desperate moments that and trying and errors. Once you figure out, and all of these people like you and other people, they just kind of contributed to entire process and understanding. And so I started in last June, and this July or beginning of this August is actually when it clicked more and better for me. So it's like a year and almost 2 months for me.
A little over a year. So it took a little over a year, multiple communities, training relentlessly. And now we're starting to see a glimpse of a percentage of your potential.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That I take it there were probably 1,500 times that you thought this is not it. And there's probably at least 1,500 people thinking the same thing. What are you saying to them? Let's say they're 3 to 6 months in, they haven't seen it, it hasn't clicked yet. What's, as somebody that's seen the the trying times in life while trying to do this, while giving it your all and not seeing it back, what are you telling those people?
Number one is you need a community. You need those people who've been through this and who can share the knowledge. Uh, and this journey is lonely. And whenever I was doing it myself, it was extremely challenging in the beginning of the day, even to start a day and make calls. But having community and people who care about you, who has been going through the same journey or who's been already through the journey and much more ahead is extremely beneficial. Access to people is access to information. And eh, the most important, not to be stingy to invest in yourself. A lot of people, and I was one of them, like to invest like in $3,000 in this coaching, or well, like $1,000 in this program, and or like $10,000. Like it's a huge money, and it was a huge money for me. But because I did this, it produced results. So advice is have a community, not to try to figure out on your own because it will take 10 times longer. And I don't think we can afford financially, especially if you work, if you support your family.
Mhm.
Um, Ideally, my suggestion to have savings. It's difficult to jump into the business without having any savings. Uh, I think in my case, if my wife didn't work all this time and we didn't have savings and credit cards, I probably wouldn't survive. But all of this combination, it actually helped me. My savings drained for all the time. My savings drained completely, almost completely. Credit cards at some point went super high, almost maxed out. But then it gave me time to actually be around the people and get the knowledge. And then it started working around a year. And this is where it kind of started going down and then up.
Oh my goodness, Vad. See, your resilience is unmatched. You maxed out your credit cards and refused to give up and still went above and beyond.
I was trying.
What would you change?
What would I change?
Hmm.
I'm not sure if I can change anything.
That's a good answer.
You
Okay,
learn
let me
on
rephrase.
mistakes. The best way to learn is to learn on mistakes. And even though it's painful, but you just have to go through the journey.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for that, Vad. I agree completely. And so I'll rephrase. What is a mistake that you made that you want to talk about so nobody else can make it ever?
Mistake that I made, not to start it sooner.
You wish you started sooner.
Yes.
Yeah, come on, man. That's how you know you're just blessed, brother. That's how you know you're blessed where you are now. That's really awesome, man. What allows you to keep seeing it through?
Faith, big thing. Um, uh, um, Family and desire to actually provide for the family. Um, in addition, seeing success and being around the people who are like-minded and who've been grinding and seeing success. All of this motivates. And I'm like, if they could do this, I know even though I'm not the best, I'm not the smartest. I wasn't born here in United States, and some people can hear some accent that I have. But man, other people do this. I can do this. You know, it's just
Hmm.
the time and repetition.
Absolutely, man. That's something I wanted to touch on. I've heard people say, "Oh, I don't want to hire cold callers because they have accents." Bro, that people hear you speak and they could tell that is English your first language.
They ask, some people ask, where are you from? Where are you originally from? And it gave me ability to actually build extra rapport with people.
Yes, exactly, bro. Yeah, own it. Own who you are, man. That's beautiful. So to be clear, is English your first language?
No, it's my third language.
Your third language. No excuses for anybody, man. That's what we're doing this for, to let everybody else know there's no excuses. That you're a prime example. This is your third language. You're slinging deals out here. Some of these people you're meeting, most of them you're not meeting in person. You're calling them on the phone. You're building rapport with them. You're making offers on their houses. They're accepting them. What's the
That is correct.
secret? What is the secret?
Following the 5-step process.
So, in other words, just doing it.
Just doing it. Just
Okay.
doing it.
What's been the hardest part of the journey for you?
Hardest part is, I guess, up until probably a couple months ago, the biggest part is not to have understanding when the money are gonna come. Whenever you work for somebody, even though you may be limited with money that you receive, but you know that mentally you're safe because every Friday or every other Friday you're gonna receive that X amount of money, which is gives you security.
Mm-hmm.
Like that you don't need to worry a lot. But whenever you're in business and you don't know how much time it's going to take you to get your first deal, second deal, are you going to be able to get after that deal another deal? How much time is going to take? This not having this stability and security was like a big factor that was extremely challenging for me, and even right
Wow.
now, right? But at the same time it teaches you to actually have more faith to God and trust him more, and it teaches you to pray more.
Mm-hmm. Serious, dude. Serious. So you're saying, which I agree, you're probably going to struggle if faith is not a huge part of your life, especially in this business. Because you can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't taste it, you can't touch it. You just have to believe it's going to come. And you found that to be difficult, but you were able to push through and you did keep faith and it did come.
Yep.
That's the lesson, man. That's the lesson of it all. And so, Vad, I'm looking behind you. All this stuff on the walls. Tell me about it. What's going on around you, man?
um, Whenever you come from any industry that is not sales, you you don't know what to speak, what to tell, what kind of what the word track you need to have, at what points, or how to overcome objections. So everything that is behind is actually certain phrases, certain objection handling, and certain um, mm, things to say during the whenever I have conversation with people that I was memorizing at some point. And I remember I was waking up uh, like at 5 a.m. and I was just writing them down. There was like a bunch of stuff like in front of me, beside me, that I was either typing or writing, and I was trying to memorize word by word, in order to understand how to handle it when it comes.
Dude. So those are scripts, word tracks, objections, how to handle objection. That's what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're nuts, dude, and I love it. Are you kidding me? That's
I mean,
unbelievable, Vad.
as I said, I didn't come from sales. I didn't know how to naturally dance this dance.
Mm-hmm.
Make it work, how to make it flow, how to have a conversation, especially after making offers, because you don't know what to expect, how they're gonna react.
Wow. That's unbelievable, Vad. So to get this straight, You maxed out your credit cards. You invested in yourself as much as you possibly could. You didn't know when the next check was coming, but you had faith. You failed and failed and failed. You wanted to quit all the time, regularly. You brought sellers lunch before they ever signed a contract with you, after they ghosted you. You're spending over 5 hours on the phone with one person. English is your third language, and you're still doing this virtually over the phone. This is beautiful. And what do you, if there was one thing you had to attribute this to, the fact that you went through all of that to get to where you are now with a literal pipeline in an actual business now, which people don't understand. That's the hard part, is you're switching from a side hustle to a real business. You have a business now.
Mhm.
How'd you get there? What do you attribute to that transformation?
Now, here is my language. Can you rephrase the word attribute?
Yes. I love it. What? Let me just ask you a new question along the same lines. A
Hmm.
lot of people say, now I've recycled this quote before. It's
Hmm.
not the money that makes the man, it's the man that makes the money. What's different about VAD from a year and a half ago to VAD today? How much has changed?
In some way, it feels like nothing changed, but in whenever I looked at myself a year ago and right now, everything has changed. I mean, literally everything. My approach. I remember my first steps whenever I was recording my video. I mean, I was recording a video of myself trying to make my first call, and I spent probably more than 10 minutes recording myself, looking at the phone and trying to make a call to my first lead. And it was really challenging. Every single objection or RDR or whatever, it was just throwing me off the cliff, and I didn't know how to even navigate through this. Now it's just it's just natural. Uh, I I mean, it feels like there was not much changed, but at the same time, when I look back and I'm looking like, okay, uh, I didn't know so much stuff a year ago, a year and something, but because of the people around me and the knowledge I got from people, um, it's like I don't think just a regular person can just come in and say like, oh, okay, that's easy. So I think when it comes to wholesale, when it comes to sale, a lot has changed, and I'm super blessed um, right now to see the progress.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. So it was really just, well, what was your job that you had right before?
I was in IT. Um, I wasn't a developer. Developers were smart people. I was
Mhm.
working with developers. I was as a quality assurance or testing. Developers were building applications, then testers were coming and they were testing and trying to break it and to make sure everything works correctly. So I was like in the QA field. It was pretty good field. IT is pretty good field. People make 100K a year. Some people, smart people, they make like 140, 150K a year. So it was big change because you jump from that career into unknown, and first year is just horrible, at least for me.
Mhm. Wow. So you went from an IT guy to now a sales and marketing genius, eh?
From now being an investor.
Yeah, buddy. Come on. He's a real estate investor. That's perfect, bro.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a transformation, Vad. And that was all, I'll say self-taught, because you were the one that put yourself in the rooms, that printed out the papers and put them all over the wall. You applied yourself. You stayed up till 1 a.m. training. That every time I've ever held a call, you've been there asking questions and training. Good work, man. You earned it.
Yeah. And you
This is
telling me
very
you
good.
suck. You need to train. And I'm like, I get it, bro. I need to train.
Did I say that?
I mean, not this words, but you said that was the most pathetic introduction. I mean,
Well, did it help? Did it help?
yeah, of course. It's like, yeah, it's a ugly truth, that sometimes we need to
All
hear.
right. Yeah. All right. All right. I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. I don't remember saying it, but I'm sure I
No,
was just being honest.
it's all good. Like it's a part of the journey. Like.
Yes. So good, man. I'm loving it, brother. I'm loving it. Do you have any kind of team? What kind of pieces in place do you have around you right now?
So right now I have a team of two VAs, mm, and one VA is actually started doing acquisition calls a little bit over than a month ago. Another VA is just simply on bringing leads. So one person bringing leads, another person is making calls to people to get some information, pre-qualify, and then do a little bit of negotiation. And I'm kind of managing everything. Um, and you know, I don't consider myself being super efficient. Um, like I was always a C- student. I'm looking at you like, and I'm like, man, Noah is so amazing. Like the way how he handles so much, and this is like awesome. But but again, I'm the one who is overseeing everything, um, uh, feeding the data, dealing with certain things. I mean, also calling, negotiating a little bit, signing contracts with people, finding buyers, doing all the TC work, getting to the closing tables, the deals, and yeah, and also training VAs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Understood, man. Where do you where do you see this going in the next 12 months? What is your vision for you and your business in the next year? It can be numbers, it can be team size, it can be deals per month, whatever it is. What's the vision for you? Or whatever you want your life to look like. I'm open to hearing.
So in the next year, what I see is, for now, this year for me was a year of clarity. And Eric, in the end of last year, he had a separate meeting, and he said, "Okay, what's going to be your next year? One word. How would you describe the next year?" And I wrote for myself, "Year of clarity," because I wanted to understand how this business works. Um, Now, for the next year, I want to see a year of growth, but to keep it a little bit lean. I don't see myself growing a team. Um, I see myself mainly, at least at this moment, trying to figure out better ways to get inbound leads, but not to spend a fortune on this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, numbers wise, of course, I wanna hit 300,000. Maybe for some people it's a small number, but if I will achieve and I will make 300 plus thousand in the business, that's going to be a milestone. Um,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to deals, um, to be consistent, at least 2, 3 deals a year, a month for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to marketing, to give it a shot for inbound, I mean PPC,
Mm-hmm.
to get enough money for
Okay.
marketing for the PPC, and to have more conversations and understanding how it works from the PPC side.
Mm-hmm. Vad, you're gonna profit over 300 next year for sure, bro.
I mean, right now it's hard to believe, but God is great.
Yeah, don't even say that. God is good. God is very
God
good,
is
man.
good
You don't
all
believe
the
in
time.
miracles or what? That's not even a miracle. That's happening. Some folks made that today.
Yep.
Wow, this is awesome, Vad. Vad, I know You inspire me. Your work ethic inspires me. I'm sure anybody that watches this will also be inspired. I mean, you make sure nobody else has any excuses, bro. English is your third language. You don't have a sales background. You don't have a real estate background. You just put your head down, had faith, and you worked. And you're starting. Money is a lagging indicator. Success is a lagging indicator to the work you put in. You're starting to see just the slightest glimpse of the result of all the work you've put in up until this point. You're starting to see just
100%.
a sliver.
100%.
So I love it, man. I'm excited. You got anything else? I wanted to get on here and I wanted you to be able to share your story because who knows whose life is going to change, you know? So I don't want you to leave anything out. If what else do you got? If there's anything else you want to say, floor is yours. You're the world. You're talking to a young Vad. Maybe you're talking to an older version of Vad that didn't take action. You're talking to somebody that needs to hear you speak right now. God put somebody in front of your face right now. You know, what are you telling them?
Don't be afraid to risk. If you want to have a better future for yourself and for your family, don't be afraid to risk. Sometimes being in a comfortable zone, or not sometimes, I guess it's like pretty common thing, whenever we get into comfortable zone and we don't like it, but we are afraid to look stupid or to fail or to look embarrassed in front of our either friends or relatives or whatever society, and because of this we never risk, and then we regret. My suggestion: if you're young and you have a ton of time and you don't have money, risk it and talk to people, watch some YouTube videos, but jump into this field. Uh, in a year, in a two, even if you don't have money, but you keep doing this, you're gonna see success. If you have money, you're gonna see success. If you have a family, I mean, I'm speaking from my side. I've seen people who jump into this field. They didn't have savings. They risked a lot. They didn't see results on time, and they quit. And that's why the dropout rate is pretty big, because people jump without good, at least a little bit of the cushion to support family and their whatever the needs. Be careful whenever you have family. Be more careful whenever you jump into the field. Try to have at least 3-4 months of expenses saved up that your family can survive. Um, but whenever you're young, you have no excuse. I've seen people who are like 16. No, you're like 21, right? You're still 21, right?
Mm-hmm.
People who are 16, 17, 20 years old, uh, having like really awesome paychecks of 20,000, 40,000, 50,000 a month, and sometimes even a deal. And I'm like looking like, I wish at that age I knew about this and I was around these people. I'm, you have no excuse. If you're young, don't spend money and time on partying and doing some kind of stuff outside, or just wasting it watching and playing video games. Invest in yourself.
Dude,
Try this and do this, and surround yourself with good people like
Vad, that's awesome, man. So you're saying take risks, be careful. So take calculated risks. If you're young, all you have is time. You don't need to have money. Just go all in and it'll happen. If you're older, be smart. If you have a family, be wise. Put them first, make sure they're taken care of, but go all in.
100%.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome, Vad. Goodness, brother. Well, hey, I mean, this was great, man. I've really appreciated your time. This is going to be cool. I look forward to getting this one up and in front of as many eyes want to watch it. And yeah, let's get after it, bro. This has been good, and we got a lot of work to do, my brother.
Yes, we do. We do.
We're gonna make sure your goal of 300 grand will be profit guaranteed next year. We're gonna make it happen. We won't settle for less.
Amen. Amen.
Amen, brother. Hey, God bless you, Vad. This was fun, man. It was great to do this with you. Any last words? I know I already asked.
Uh, I'm done.
Cool. Nah, no problem, man. Cool. Well, hey, love it, Vad. Where can people get in touch with you at if they want to?
I guess on Instagram, the
What's
best
your
way, I
Instagram?
guess.
I'll make sure we drop
Yeah.
it below. What's your Instagram?
I don't remember. I need to check. Uh, but
Oh, that's no
you
problem.
can
I'll
add it
throw it
to.
in the description.
Yes, you can put it in the description because like I forgot. Um,
Oh goodness, you're funny, man. All right, sounds good, Vad. We'll get to it. Let's rock and roll, man. And yeah, check out the description below to get in contact with Vad and close some more deals, baby. Let's get it.
let's get it.
All right, all love. We'll see you soon, Vad.
See you soon. No, thank you, brother. Take care.
Thank you, brother. You too. See you, man.